Thanks for staying with us. Cocaine worth 1 billion naira seized by Nigerian Customs Service along Seme Road in Lagos. Also on Customs report, the Contract General of Customs speaks on one-stop shop as approved by the management that will enable importers to clear their consignment faster at the ports. Plus, more report. I am Egiseme Edinye. Stay tuned. The Nigerian Customs Service says that very soon, goods at the Munition Seaport will be cleared within 48 hours.
The Nigerian Customs Service has launched a new digital one-stop shop platform aimed at eliminating bureaucratic bottlenecks at Nigeria's ports and significantly reducing cargo clearance time to 48 hours. Speaking at a ceremony held in Lagos on Friday, 13 February 2026, the Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, described the initiative as a major structural reform designed to modernize border operations and strengthen Nigeria's trade competitiveness.
Today's engagement addresses a concern shared by government, businesses, and citizens alike. How efficiently Nigeria moves goods across its borders and how that efficiency shapes investment, competitiveness, and economic growth. For years, traders, manufacturers, and logistics operators have pointed to delays, overlapping checks, fragmented processes, and unpredictable interventions that increase the cost of doing business and weaken confidence in our systems. National assessments, Nigeria's recent trade policy review at the World Trade Organization, and the findings of our just concluded time-release study have documented these challenges, showing that while physical inspections often take only a few hours, consignments spend several days in idle waiting due largely to uncoordinated procedures and system gaps. These realities point clearly to structural and procedural gaps that can no longer be addressed through incremental adjustments or isolated interventions. What is required is a coordinated, technology-enabled, and institutionally embedded solution, one that aligns policy intent with operational reality, balances facilitation with control, and places accountability at the center of border management. The Nigerian Customs Service has examined these findings closely, and this engagement marks a decisive step towards practical, measurable, and sustainable reform.
The Customs boss noted that the platform aligns with Nigeria's border business reforms under the administration of President Bola Tinubu, as well as global standards under the World Trade Organization's Trade Facilitation Agreements, which estimates that efficient border reforms can cut trade costs in developing economies by over 14%.
Institutional reform must remain continuous, practical, and results-driven. Indeed, we have so much evidence to show that the reforms introduced by the current administration, the current management of Nigerian Customs Service under the leadership of Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, MFR, is result-oriented, and we've seen it in all ramifications and all the index that is used to measure our performance. We've had outstanding success in revenue collection, outstanding successes in enforcement, and we indeed want to have successes in the area of trade facilitation, the successes in the area of facilitating compliant trade. And that is what the OSS is indeed all about.
The Comptroller General of Nigerian Customs Service has commissioned a sport club in Western Marine in Lagos, so that Nigerian Customs Service officers should participate in sporting activities all over the country.
The first day, Comptroller Patrick Ntadi stepped into the headquarters of Western Marine Command of the Nigerian Customs Service at Ibafon, Coconut, Apapa, he saw a vision. According to the Customs Area Comptroller on a friendly chart, and I quote, "The first day I entered the compound to assume duties, I saw a horrible sight while approaching the gate and suspected that the place must be dangerous. End of quote. In an effort to do an interview on the ongoing renovation on the site, the CAC confirmed that the zonal coordinator will be around to commission it. As the renovation took a greater dimension, the attention of the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, was caught as the project was upgraded to corporate social responsibility of the Nigerian Customs Service.
Service cannot operate very well without the community. As a command, we recognize that we cannot secure our environment alone. Community partnership is essential. This facility belongs to the community, and we trust that it will be protected, properly utilized, and maintained. We call on community leaders, parents, youth groups, and relevant stakeholders to take ownership of this project and ensure that it serves the purpose for which it was established. The purpose for which it was established is to practically express our belief that security is not only about enforcement, patrol, and interception. It's also about prevention. It's about giving our youths alternative to crime, restiveness, drug abuse, and other social vices. When we provide a safe and possible space for it.
On Wednesday, February 11, 2025, the arena was ready for commissioning, and the command named it Wale Adeniyi Sports Arena, WASA.
Naming this facility after him is our way of saying that exemplary service should never be forgotten. And positive role models must continue to inspire the next generation.
Why do we need to do this? It is because of the nature of our job. We really need to keep fit all the time. Our jobs are demanding, and it is necessary that we maintain the right balance. This is why we encourage all officers to do this. I do mine each time I have time in Abuja. Most Saturday morning, you will not see me on bed early in the morning. I'm out trying to keep fit. And this is what we are trying to encourage all our officers. They should remain physically and mentally fit. And one of the ways in which they can do it is to make use of the facilities that we have provided in this command. About 48 hours ago, I was in Kebbi doing this same thing. The five-a-side football arena that we built for officers and men of Kebbi, and we have the privilege of taking the first shots inside that arena. So it is built for us to be used, for it to be utilized, and I will encourage officers and men, even serving in other commands, KLT, Tinkan, PTML, and APAPA, to embrace the use of the facilities here so that we can all remain physically and mentally fit. I want to thank members of the community who are here. We've been having a lot of issues with them before, but I'm happy now that there seems to be some kind of rapprochement and understanding between us, and this is why we can implement some of the projects that we are undertaking here. I thank you so very much.
The custom boss has also been speaking with journalists at Lekki Free Trade Zone, where to the Nigerian Customs Service will make sure that things work accordingly.
As part of efforts to expedite examination of goods at the Lekki Free Zone Green Channel, Comptroller General of Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, on Wednesday commissioned the channel at Itoke Village, Ibeju, Lekki, Lagos, saying the initiative is a major boost to trade facilitation and cargo clearance efficiency. Adeniyi, in his remarks at the occasion, assured maritime stakeholders and wider business community that the Green Channel would significantly reduce cargo clearance time and cost of doing business at Nigerian ports. According to him, the intervention directly addresses long-standing bottlenecks in port operations, as it will reduce time spent on cargo clearance and lower cost of doing business at our ports, adding that containers discharged from vessels are moved immediately through a dedicated Green Channel for examination. Adeniyi noted that the new process replaces what are described as the former exuberant and time-consuming procedures associated with assessing examination bays.
containers that are laden on the vessels are brought down immediately, and they are taken through the green channel to the place where examination will be done. This is not what we used to have before. It used to be encountering a lot of encumbrances before it gets into the examination bay. So what we have done today is a product of the kind of trusts that we have invested in our stakeholders have in us, and the confidence that we also have in them, that they would do it in the spirit of compliance and in the spirit of trade facilitation. And we are very optimistic that once we do that, revenue can be taken for granted. Revenue will follow it. We are looking at creating an economy that is more competitive. In the short run, we expect that it will help us to reduce the cost of doing business, the time of doing business, which will translate into higher revenue for Nigeria Customs Service. If you go to the bigger ports, you know that we always have the issue of stacking area, where you stack, and then after some time you are looking for examination, you cannot do it 3-4 days because you don't even know where the containers are packed. This particular intervention helps them to move containers right from the vessel into a dedicated place where customs can have access. And between the time the container moves from the vessel to this particular place, it is tracked. We can see it online, we can see it all the time, we can monitor it and things like that. So we become very, very convinced that this is an idea that we must give opportunity to work.
You are watching the program Customs Report.
The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, on Tuesday, February 17, 2026, officially commissioned the Abdul Samad Rabiu Nigeria Customs Service Hospital in Bauchi, a 60-bed healthcare facility constructed and donated by Abdul Samad Rabiu, chairman of ASR Africa and founder, executive chairman of BOA Group. The hospital, delivered through the Abdul Samad Rabiu Africa initiative, is expected to significantly expand healthcare access for customs officers, their families, and host communities across Zone D and neighboring states. Describing the project as a strategic welfare investment, the CGC said the facility reflects the service's commitment to strengthening institutional capacity through improved personnel well-being. He said, and I quote, "The commissioning is a clear statement that the NCS prioritizes the health and welfare of its officers." He stated that a modern service requires not only technology and operational reforms, but also strong social infrastructure that supports those who serve. End of quote.
The Nigerian Customs Service has smashed a syndicate that specializes smuggling cocaine into the country through the unapproved route. A total of 1 billion naira worth of cocaine was seized by Seme Customs Area Command in Lagos.
In furtherance of its ongoing successful war on the smuggling of illicit drugs into the Nigerian economy, the Seme Border Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has intercepted 25 kilograms of 22 packages of cocaine worth more than 1 billion naira in street value, even as it has arrested one person in connection with the seizure. The Deputy Comptroller General of Customs, in charge of enforcement, investigation and inspection, Timi Bomodi, who represented the Comptroller General of Customs, Wale Adeniyi, MFR, disclosed this while exhibiting the seizure at the command's office over the weekend.
Let me use this forum to really appreciate our citizens. What you are seeing here today, we execute it, but the CGC planned it. The CGC is the person who planned it from day one. We, the chairperson in charge of the WCO, had various information, and the CGC monitored this information for about 2 months that he trailed it, and he shared only with me. And the day we executed it, it was on phone throughout the night. So we need a serious round of applause. Then my DCG was calling every minute, every second. Wale Alpha, have you done it? 2 more days, 2 days. Giving directive from the Abuja. So you know, when you are following a leader, you follow them rightly. And because we have a right leader, that's why we are achieving this thing you are seeing today. And I know with them being our leader, we'll still achieve more. We are really rest assuring them there is no go area for smuggling. And evidently, with my CGC and my DCG, we will do more. And I want to really appreciate the members of the press. Continue to give us your support. Expose some of these things. And I know the Federal Operation, don't mind my friend. We will really achieve a greater. You know, like the NDLEA, we had a very strong synergy in Seme Area Command. Both from, I call her Rita. You know, when they were doing this thing, my heart was beating. But we have already done a little examination, but they didn't know how you are going. But the NDLEA, every security agency in Seme, we have a very strong synergy. And I know this is the beginning. And this.
The Customs CG went on to commend the professionalism, alertness, and unwavering commitment displayed by the officers in the operation, adding that their actions have once again demonstrated the Nigerian Customs' resolve to safeguard the country's borders and protect the society from the scourge of narcotic trafficking.
The Ogun 1 Command has thrown its weight behind Festival of Arts for Economic Development in Africa. The controllers at management of the Nigerian Customs Service will continue to support any act that will bring in peace and revenue generation to the country.
The Nigerian Customs Service Ogun 1 Area Command has thrown its weight behind the 5th Festival of Arts for Economic Development International Colloquium 2026, reinforcing efforts to drive youth empowerment, economic growth, and stability in border communities. The colloquium, held on Thursday, 12 February 2026, brought together security agencies from Nigeria and the Republic of Benin under the theme Rebranding Borderline Communities through Creative Empowerment and Entrepreneurship. Declaring the program open, the acting Customs Area Comptroller, Deputy Comptroller Oladapo Afeni, said effective border management must go beyond enforcement to include cooperation and economic development within host communities.
On behalf of the Nigerian Customs Service, Ogun 1 Area Command, I warmly welcome you to the International Colloquium of the 5th edition of the Festival of Arts for Economic Development, to which the Nigerian Customs Service is a strategic and proud partner. This colloquium reflects our shared understanding that sustainable border management extends beyond enforcement to include cross-border cooperation, economic empowerment, and entrepreneurship development within our border communities. The theme, Rebranding Borderlines Community through Creative Empowerment and Entrepreneurship, aligns with the Nigerian Customs Service commitment to supporting legitimate trade, encouraging value addition, and promoting small-scale enterprises as driver of economic growth and border stability. I acknowledge the important role of the Nigeria-Benin Interborder Forum under the leadership of its permanent secretary, Dr. Boni Abisogun Botoku, in advancing preventive diplomacy, structured dialogue, and operational cooperation between Nigeria and the Republic of Benin. Through the empowerment programs and entrepreneurship initiatives embedded in this festival, we see practical pathways to reducing illicit activities, strengthening lawful commerce, and fostering inclusive economic opportunities for our people. The Nigerian Customs Service remains committed to partnership that promotes peaceful borders, resilient economies, and sustainable regional integration. I commend the producer and the organizing committee for this laudable initiative and wish participants fruitful deliberations. I hereby declare this international colloquium open. Colloquium is an international colloquium brought up by this Integration of Heart place owned by Dr. Potogu. He's been the permanent secretary of the Joint Border Forum. He's been very instrumental to stabilizing this particular zone, Idiroko-Igolo border. And we believe that enforcement or enforcing government fiscal policy does not have to be about guns. The citizens must be made to know the reason why we are here. And this is a way of showing the community that we care about them. And you can see that we have trained some people in the act of gari making, painting, and this tie and dye adire. So it's a way of empowering the community.
The Tinkan Customs Command has continued to increase its revenue generation as approved by the management of Nigerian Customs Service. The controller says that all stakeholders operating at Tinkan Customs Command have been cooperating with the service. It speaks more on a number of issues.
The area controller of Tinkan Island Port Command, Comptroller Frank Onyeka, has described his readiness to drive the Nigerian Customs Service transition to a fully paperless regime, assuring stakeholders that the command is primed for seamless digital operations ahead of the rollout scheduled for the second quarter of the year. Speaking during a parley with senior maritime journalist, Onyeka described the media engagement as a first in a series of consultations aimed at sensitizing stakeholders on the strategies and expectations surrounding the reform. Reviewing the command's performance, Onyeka revealed that Tinkan Island Command generated 609 billion naira last year. He highlighted a significant increase in collections, noting that while 116 billion naira was recorded in January of the previous year, 145 billion naira was generated in the corresponding period last month, reflecting a rise of over 29.9 billion naira.
I'm going to work on a roadmap that will now employ you to do more than you have done last year. We're going to work on a roadmap that's going to employ you to serve more than ever before, because at this level, we are not only celebrating what we had last year, immeasurably, we're equally going to do more, because too much is given, much is expected. It's no more news than last year we had $1,524,000 as our target. We ended up with $1,609 billion. What's new now? As at this time last year, 8th of January last year, we had 116 billion, 412 million plus. By the end of this January, as at the end of last January, today is 17th of February, as at the end of January this year, 2026, we ended with 145 billion, 936 million plus. A difference of about 29.5 billion. That's the news. And that's great. And obviously, it couldn't have been done without the utmost support of this House. I decided to call you after January so that I have something new to tell you. What I told you that happened last year, it's everywhere. What I'm telling you now is breaking news. To that extent, therefore, we need a round of applause for ourselves. We are going to do a good number of things differently this year. That's when I said I'm going to start my engagement for the year strategically with the media. I know why I said I'm going to start strategically with the media, because whatever we have done here that has brought us this far positively, the media played superb role. The media played a very wonderful role. I remember last week when I was engaging one of you who is looking at me directly. It may not be comfortable when I mention his name. They gave me a report which made me call my team and told them that we had to address issues immediately. Now, what are the issues? The last year I came in on a very friendly note. People are enjoying me. Our partners and traders are enjoying me, but they are complaining. And ultimately, there is no shaking by the grace of God. I'm going to engage you first, and I'm going to engage them sometime this week. And the reportage, by the grace of God, will be different from what you've been told. I know what they want, I know how to address them, and I know how to go about their problems. Why am I saying I'm going to start just strategically? Because I get feedbacks from you. Your feedbacks had greatly assisted me. Your feedbacks are what has ginger for me. You know, we have a couple of friends among you who are there. A couple of friends among you who have been very patient with me. Very, very patient. I say again, very, very, very patient. Some of them could be sitting on the right hand, some of them could be sitting on the left hand. But I'm not here to single anybody out. We have people who are directly opposite me who have told you there is no news. What's the news? And I told them when the news comes, you will get it.
Just before we round up this week's edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where cocaine worth 1.1 billion naira was seized by the Nigerian Customs Service along Badagry axis of the country. For me, Igiseme Etinye, thanks for watching.